tonight is Tiffany Lenox of Lenox SkinCare. Tiffany I've been doing skincare and wellness for over 14 years. She is Oklahoma's first multicultural focused esthetician, who gained numerous certifications and has trained with the top leaders for treating global multicultural skin. She has started Lenox SkinCare, which is the very first multicultural skincare clinic in Oklahoma City. She's dedicated to delivering results the best way possible. With her promise of results-driven skincare, Lenox SkinCare provides excellence to our clients. So I'm glad to have her here. I've known her since college, and she's doing great work. So we're going to talk about some things with her. So, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Tiffany Lenox, welcome to the school.
Hey, gorgeous.
How are you?
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you. I feel so honored. I made it to the show.
You're supposed to be here. Don't play.
I'm serious.
Yeah, no,
I've been waiting patiently.
It's good to have you. It's good to have you. For those who don't know you, let them know who you are and stuff that's not in your bio, and we'll go from there.
So my name is Tiffany Lenox. I am born and raised here in Oklahoma City, and I would say entrepreneur, but sometimes it's just following the passion. So I have my whole theories on that as well. But went to Langston, so of course Kelly and Winfrey, we all went to school together, and so just been in the business in skincare. Started in wellness. I had a wellness spa for 12 years. I pivoted the business and had both open at the same time. While one was closing, the other one was building, and really saw that it was time to start taking a turn. A lot of times people don't know when to make that shift to still continue to grow. And so I did that for numerous reasons. And each time, I feel like God's unraveling why it happened, the way it is. So it's been interesting, but yeah, so here in Oklahoma, I have a skincare clinic. One of it's the first kind to focus. But what I realized is that even though I was trying to be inclusive, I was being exclusive. Why is that? So that was a learning curve. So a lot of my diversity kind of went this way. And so we're under a rebrand now to make sure that that I continue to capture that audience that I wanted, which was to be inclusive and not excluding in the world of today. So
that's really a good point. That's a good point, because I think, especially with the pandemic, there are a lot of business owners who are trying to, number one, figure out how to pivot, and number two, when we do pivot, we usually go wider. Instead of going deeper. What was the thought process that led you to realize, okay, I need to first pivot, and then second, change your kind of who you were catering to and how you're catering to?
So a couple of things when it really started was that from the business side, telling the story, sometimes it's like you have to kind of be able to relay it to the consumer market for them to understand. But on the back end, since we're kind of talking about that, was that the industry of spa and large big businesses had started to change. It started going into more of the micro type of industry. So you have like your lash studio, your wax studio, your wrap studio, massage studio. Suites became big. And so I saw that coming 2 years prior. So when I did continue to grow the business, I was hoping that with Oklahoma being so behind, that it would take it some time to actually take that huge shift. But not only that, the talent that was available here in Oklahoma was not here. So I was finding myself doing more teaching than expanding with the people that I was bringing on. So the type of services that I offered was still very, very new to Oklahoma, which is funny because I'm starting to see, people do like talk about body wrap, talk about body sculpting, and we have been doing that since 2012. And so teeth whitening, I'm seeing that happen. I'm just like, wow, I was doing this way before it really hit. So not only was Oklahoma behind, it was really behind because I'm seeing it start to become, in a sense, popular again, and there's a new generation of people that are capable of having disposable income. So they are talking to a new audience now. However, so I did that. And so that was one of the changes too. I had some health issues. And so I found myself not being as passionate about what I was doing because I was being more of a human resource. So trying to hire, I had a 5,300 square feet, over 16 rooms. So I needed a full 20-person staff. Mm-hmm. And finding people that were really dedicated and really into this industry was really hard to find. I mean, most people are just looking for a job, or they were looking for just money. I mean, in a sense, they really wasn't passionate about it. So for me, being such a passionate person about what I do, it was just hard to find that. So I started to lose, I started to get burned out. I got really, really burned out. I mean, it was like, come on, guys, like, why did you go to school? This is a passion. It's different from going to a 4-year college. We're like, okay, we're going to business, we're doing certain things. We can do multiple things with like our 4-year degree. But when you go to trade school, you're learning massage. So obviously you had to love massage or skincare. You got to love skincare. You do hair, it's the same thing. It's a very direct relationship with your career. So it was just really difficult. And so I started to love and really find myself, I wouldn't say love. I always loved skincare, but I started to hide in my facial room. And I started to just escape. Like, really, I'd be like, oh my God, okay, Brie, you got it. I'm going to my facial room. That was therapeutic for me. And so I realized, wow, this is something that I really love doing. Let me begin to transition. But the problem was my wellness spa was so diverse. Skincare was narrow. It was a narrow focus because in Oklahoma, people of color, regardless, I mean, Native Indian, Asian, they were being turned away or skin was being damaged by going to some of the med spas or untrained esthetician or just not even receiving the service at all. So there was a need. I was kind of like this quiet esthetician. I had a set client base for, forever, but it wasn't a need to go public about it. And so I probably spent, I started to actually market myself, if you will. I started putting a face with my title, which was an esthetician, other than just being the business owner, which was very new. I am not a put my face in front of it type of person. It was new. And when I tell you, it was terrifying. Like I was like, what? Like you see this picture right here? I was like, my graphic designer did that. And I was like, what did you do that for? That's not what I asked you for. He was like, yeah, like this is what it's going to be because this is who it is. And you need to face it. This is what sells. And so I had a lot of people pouring into me about putting my face in front of my brand. So when I began to pivot, it was easier. And I'm glad I had that kind of starting out because when it was just Ice Salon, it was like my face and skincare. And then when I began to go into Lenox Skincare, I had already felt comfortable with it being there. And so, I'm still growing with it. Like I'm still growing with it, but it's still a new journey and there's still some very uncomfortable moments in this as well. So I still hide behind my, in the chair.
Yeah. Yeah. Very, very interesting stuff.
Yeah. Okay, great question.
Okay, yeah, so I'm gonna get right down to the nitty gritty. So right. And I'm also a client of Tiffany.
Yes.
I have been Lenox.
Yes.
I had eczema problems. I did not even used to wear makeup. So if you look at old episodes And the new ones you see, I even wear makeup now because my skin so much better. Okay, so how has, because you have done a lot with your business, like you said, you've changed over the years and everything. How has that affected your romantic relationships? So being super involved.
Yeah, she just turned. So she just turned.
Dive right on in. Why don't you, Kelly?
I said we was gonna turn it up.
Welcome to the
That's
school.
why I thought we was about to go into eczema, and then she.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought we was going to talk about a whole different thing. Okay, yeah, but
That's why I said with that. We all friends, guys, so I could do that.
Yes.
Oh, man.
So, ooh. It has been, I mean, it's difficult. It's difficult. I want to be able to give some advice here.
Do you need a drink real quick too?
Yeah, I do actually.
You need a party Pepsi. Okay.
Yeah.
Party Pepsi.
Right.
So it's very difficult when you're passionate about what you're doing. It's hard to prioritize a person when you have this business or businesses that needs your attention. And a woman's title or place that a man considers her to be is to be the woman, to carry the home, children, cook, clean. And more business entrepreneur women don't really necessarily, it's not a priority. They try to, but the goal and what fuels them is the drive, the same drive that drives a man. It's that adrenaline that goes. And so we're just as passionate. And so we need a good balance. So in the relationships, I've been an entrepreneur since I was 24, full time.
Yeah.
So I had recently got married at this time. I've been married twice, i.e. why it's difficult.
Yeah.
I worked in corporate America after leaving Langston. I had a passion for entrepreneurship since I was a kid. I used to sell my grandmother's like plums off her tree because she would give them away to people, and I was like, no. Quit giving the cha-cha away. No, we need to sell this. So, but it got in the way because I was not so much because of money, because I made more money corporate than at the time my ex-husband. It was the energy that I put towards the business that got in the way. I was young. I didn't know how to balance. I didn't even know how to communicate. I didn't even know how to communicate really the adrenaline rush and the passion that I had. I didn't know what that was. I didn't even know how to articulate. So trying to explain it to him, I'm like, what are you talking about? You know, like he just didn't get it. And what I realized is that God rest his soul, he's passed away, but he told me, he was like, it wasn't you, it was me. He was like, you were passionate about something and I had never found that passion.
Okay.
I was like, ooh, you know, but that was like years later. Imagine being very young and you carrying this way. So my second marriage, he might be on here too. He might be on here. But we're really good friends. But one of the things that he did teach me and that helped me to understand was that to find somewhat balance. It wasn't so much balance for the family, but it was so much balance for myself. And that I had put so much into the business that I was forgetting about myself. And that really, it didn't resonate until after we were divorced, that it really hit home, but it was a lot. At the time, I was speaking, I was expanding my business, I was growing, I was at the height of my career with my spa, that it was just, I was being pulled every which way from speaking on this and doing this and trade show on that and sitting on the boards. And I mean, you know, I was with the chamber. I was like, oh, I was being pulled so many ways. Like, I don't even remember cooking. Like, that's like, I was married. Like, that's how bad it was. So, like, I remember having, you know, hired a housekeeper. You know, I think I was buying meals. I mean, it was just, it wasn't good. It wasn't a good balance. And so, again, I can look back now and I can see where he was doing everything to help, you know, me with this dream to the point I ended up being neglectful in some areas and that I needed to find a balance. So now that I've dated, you know, in between and I hear the same thing. So, you know, when you hear the same thing, like, okay, I mean, you know, when you have that self-talk,
True.
you can look in the mirror and you can say, you know, there is some truth to this. And so after we divorced and even just talking through it, he had helped me through to understand. And so now, you know, I am learning to, and this is a new, I know if somebody done came with this, I didn't, but I heard it. But it resonated with me. And it's right now I am operating in my strengths and I started to staff my weaknesses.
Yes. Okay.
And so for me, I didn't have this big 2021 like goal. I felt like I'm already doing it. Like I'm already in it. Like business is great. We're growing, you know. I mean, there's a lot going on. So I don't really need to add nothing to that. But what I wanted to do was because of my 12-year tenure with my first business, I wanted to be better at my second round. So that way that I can have a successful relationship with myself
First.
and a person.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
Come on,
so it was, I had to unlearn some things.
Yeah.
I had to unlearn some things.
So in the comments, which I think is a great follow-up question, Gail's question, successful business women are more difficult to date. I've been told they can in different ways, and men sometimes are unable to cope with her on several levels. Because something you mentioned was balance. Now, I thought it was not a bad idea that you at least had a housekeeper and ordered meals, but that's my thought, because they still ate.
Yeah, right.
So for a woman in business, especially like you, what qualities do you need in a partner?
So, like, you know, when I think of like the 5 love languages, like I've really studied that, and that is really, really holds to be true. So one of my top one is active service. Go figure. I need you to hang this. I need you to come do this. I need, you know. So in relationships, when I've had someone to be of service and help me, like a team, we always was good at that moment. Like it was good. Like
in your opinion, it was good.
In my opinion, I was like, yes, this is good teamwork. We making it happen. We writing goals. He's helping me do this, whatever. But yet, what I found is that was their way of being close to me and having engagement with me.
Yeah.
And when it came to having just the romantic relationship, that just regular need the feeling to be needed. That kind of vulnerability as a woman that we give, that fuels the man. I wasn't given that. And so, it is real dynamics that happen, and we can't ignore them, no matter what position or what opportunities as a woman that we are able to do. We still have a role in a way. And so I felt like I had to learn that. So my mom and my dad, they're very old school. So I watched my mom cater to my dad, and we didn't eat until Dad ate. You know, Dad never ate on plastic plates. You know, we respected when he was. I mean, there was things. I mean, even pizza, he didn't eat on. I mean, we just didn't do it. And so there was things that, you know, I watched, but yet my mom was like, "No, you go be the best woman you could be. You could do this, and I'm thinking like, wait a minute. As I got older, I'm like, I'm watching one thing, but I'm hearing another thing. It didn't make sense until later. And so what I'm learning now is the balance of catering, because it's like, you know, the man does want you to be a certain way. He does want you to show that you need him. He does want that softer side, because we can be very masculine as business women. Like we can, you know, we got to hold it down. We got something to prove. Well, I learned to tone that down. Because I can still be a woman and classy and still be soft when I need to be. I don't have to be overpowering because I'm now because I truly, like, I'm a true girl to like the max, right? So, but when it comes to business, I'm like a bulldog. Like, what were we like? So I had to learn how to manage that. And so that way, when I am home or when I am dating, that I have this softer side that continues for me to be attracted to him and for him to feel like to be the protector, you know. So that, and I'm not saying I've mastered it, but I'm so much better than what I used to be. And so a lot of that is taking self-care time to be that woman at home, you know, not rushing and doing this. Like, I really take my time, you know, like I put on my robe, I put on my slippers, I put my feet up, I drink my tea, you know, I keep that feminine way at home so that I never lose that, because it's such a beautiful, beautiful thing. It's such a beautiful thing that we really should really step into and understand what it doesn't mean to be soft. It doesn't, but then again, we are supposed to be soft. Right. We're supposed to be soft and cuddly, and you know, so, but yeah, so I've learned that. And I understand the difficulty, because we got to know when to shut it off. Like I would, you know, when I was married, I literally would not sleep. I would come home, we would eat dinner, and then I'm up working. And what I also learned is that a lot of times, you know, we see podcasts or we see people talking like, you know, if you're a serial entrepreneur, extreme entrepreneur, you don't sleep. That's bull crap. Yeah. I'll tell you, I was that person that did not sleep. I was the person that was up working, building whatever systems, automation. That stuff takes time. You need to hire somebody to do that. That you don't need to do that. But it is difficult. And so I was diagnosed with lupus, not because it was genetic, not because it was from pregnancy, not because it was medication. It was because I was stubborn and not listening to my body, taking care of myself. And so that strong woman syndrome that a lot of times that we have can make us sick. Yeah. And so I've learned to only take on what I can and what I can balance. Because if it was up to me, I would have 5 shops and I would be doing all this kind of stuff. Yeah. I realized that is not healthy. It really, really isn't. It really can weigh on us. And so, you know, just that, finding that balance, you know, so I don't really, I put time spans on things. You know, when I get home, I was like, okay, I'm going to work on the computer for an hour, and then I shut it and go home. Because, I mean, I go on to bed, because it's the difference between being busy and then being productive. What I realized is all them times that I was up, I really wasn't giving it my 100%. I was not. Sometimes I have those creative moments, so I do have like a notebook by my bed that I write ideas down, or I'll speak it into my cell phone. But I'm not working, because you're not really getting the what you really want. You know, you just up to be working because you think that's what you're supposed to do.
What you're supposed to do. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's not true. No.
It's a good distraction in your mind.
Yeah. It is. It is.
Actually, it is.
Yeah, it's a distraction.
I'm going to say I am so proud of you.
Yes.
Because we had this conversation a few years ago, and
Yeah.
your answer was different. So I'm very proud. I'm like, oh, look at her. Again, we've all been there. I mean, me and Kels, I mean, me and Kels every Monday, all night on the. I feel you, but yeah,
No, we can't. We're getting older, but also I think we can't. I think this new generation they got it. They know when to stop.
Yeah.
They know, like, hey, I want to go skiing. I'm going to the beach, or I'm off. I'm turning my phone off. Do not disturb. I mean, we think about some of these things, these options we have on our cell phone, the computer, where it says to turn off.
Yeah.
These millennials know how to turn it off. And so, but we do have to do it, because if we look at it, how far are we really getting? And if we're sick or we're tired, we're not really enjoying it. I've missed so many moments where I should have been celebrating it and present. I don't really even remember. And these were times that I was supposed to be like super stoked, like excited and happy and in the moment. I'm on to something else. I missed a lot of good moments, and a lot of good moments to pat my own self on the back, because I was just moving, just going. And so, I'm getting the second chance to really enjoy the moment. And that's what I've been doing. I've really been able to enjoy this side of entrepreneurship from a different level.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, love it.
Yeah.
What do you got coming up? Because like we done spent this whole time on like 2 questions. First of all, where can people find you? And do you have anything coming up? Let's talk about the
So you can find me on Facebook, Instagram at Lenox SkinCare. Our website. I'm so okay. Well, I didn't get to. I don't know if I kind of mentioned, but about the relaunch. So the relaunch will happen at the end of the month. I'm so excited. We have so Lenox SkinCare. You can find us at getlenox.com. That's get LENOX.com. And on there is also our e-commerce store where you can purchase skincare products as well as services. And also, if you don't know what you want to buy or what you want to get, I have virtual consultations, but most of everything is in description. So, but we do have that available. We ship and do curbside pickup. So whether you're local or away, we have both. Yeah. So the relaunch, I'm excited. I got a chance to see a pre-mock-up of the website, and I'm just like so in love because it really matches. I've ran into some really bad situations with website designers. So I was able to rebrand and work with this young lady. When I tell you, it was amazing working with her. It has already been amazing. She blows me away. So I'm excited for the brand and the website to really match what we're doing into the level of which we're doing it.
Yeah.
And so that when you can have the digital footprint to kind of speak to the volume of where you are or who you are, it's really good. It's really good. So I'm excited about that. And we have some photo shoots coming up. So, be on the lookout for that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you. I appreciate you for your work. Keep doing. You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
We're proud of you.
I'll get Lenox. I'm telling you, save the money if you need to. Save it up.
Yes. People say that the prices are high, but the one thing is not just because it's called Lenox SkinCare is the reason that the price is the price. That's what people don't understand. People are like, oh, I know you. They just have this perception, But the one thing that they don't know is that the quality that we were given, my counterparts, they like, Tiffany, you are too cheap.
Yeah.
But I know the audience that I'm trying to bring this to. So I have to be able to make it, because I have clients, it's their first time coming in for facials. Yeah. It's their first experience. So to tell someone that, $150 for a facial, they're like, what? Or even $300 for a facial. Like what? But the quality of products and the quality of treatments that we're doing and the correction that we're doing. I mean, there's no one really here to do that.
Yeah.
And so it's like, if I had competition, I could charge more because they would be charging just the same. Yeah. So, but it's the quality, I mean, all of our products, like we have 4 lines now. I've added like 4 different certifications to the clinic. I mean, I keep adding, things to really be able to treat all skin types, and skin conditions. Mm-hmm. And so it's not just an expensive facial. I mean, you're really getting a treatment. That's the thing. It's not just, I wish I could figure out another name besides facial, because I feel like facial don't even do justice of what we do, right, when it comes to skin. And it's beyond just a luxury facial. That's not what we're doing. We're giving you results that come with it. So yeah. So when people say that, they be like, so girl, I see your prices and you got a discount coming. I'm like, no, we don't discount, but come when you're ready. But the thing is it's not all the time. Like you can take it back. Like I teach you what to do, like what products. So when you do take a break, you can, you know where to come to when you're ready. So
yeah. Quality does matter. And I think maybe because people getting facials, getting wax, and getting certain services like that is not something that people get regularly.
Right.
So maybe that's probably what the understanding of the price is.
Yeah. Yeah. And I agree. Because like I said, most of my clients, they walk in, they use Dove soap or they don't use anything. Mm-hmm. So teaching them, like, I had a client, she was like, I want to come in regular. I want to get regular facials. And then so I started talking about like products. And so she was like, well, I only want like 2 things. I don't want a 10-step system. And I said, well, this is the thing. It depends on really what you want to do. If you really want to focus on aging and you really want to focus on fine lines and wrinkles and you really want to focus on pigmentation, there are several products that you will use and alternate that. So you might have 7 steps, but it's not 7 steps every night.
Yeah.
People, I mean, if you want corrective skincare, it's not a cleanser and a moisturizer.
Right.
It's serums in between. There are some other things and those cost, and so, but you will see the results of it, from seeing the results of it, but it's not going to come fast, but you definitely see it, but so that's the difference, that's definitely the difference. And it's not over the counter. We have plant-based pharmaceutical skincare.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's major. That's not, I mean, when you talk about products, I was talking to an esthetician. She was telling me she wanted to start her own product line. But people ask me, why haven't you started your product line yet? Well, when you work with like the highest quality of ingredients, I would have to spend like $5,000 just for one product to get the result. And I mean, I'm coming with my line, but when you start talking about levels of ingredients and you want clients to get results, I mean, it's hard to even compare products over the counter to.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not even. I mean, from a science base, it's not even comparable in where the results can take you and take the skin. So,
love it. Yes. We're gonna have to have you back because I'm sure we got some skin. We're gonna have to talk about some skincare stuff.
Yeah.
I see someone said skip the Gucci and the Coach bag or shoes. It's not just support. It's support yourself, because seriously, your face is with you forever. That Coach bag, that Gucci is gonna run out, and it's gonna be a new purse the next season. But there's no seasonal face.
But you know what? That's so true, because esthetician can see like you're not having enough water, you are stressed.
Oh yeah,
So it's worth the investment to understand your skin and what you need and what products you shouldn't use, even what foods you shouldn't eat. So it's investment.
Because I mean, I can read the skin and tell what's going on. I mean, I could see it. I had a client that came in, and I was like, quit touching you're constantly touching your chin. And she's like, oh, I don't think I'm touching my skin that much. I was like, oh, okay. I said, but yeah, you are, but it's okay. Just make sure you don't do it no more. So I guess she told her, so her friend came in. She's like, I told her, don't lie, because she can see it. she knows what's going on. And I was like, it is. I can see it. I can see it. I can see when clients aren't washing their face. Like when I do my things, I can see the dirt come out. I can see old makeup. I mean, I can see it. And so a lot of times when clients aren't getting the results that they want, like they'd be like, oh my gosh, I've had 3 treatments. And I was like, yeah, but each treatment I'm pulling makeup out that you said that you cleansed before you came in here. So I mean, there is a lot of training. There's a lot of education that goes into it, because my goal is not just to be your esthetician, but also to teach you when you're not in clinic that you can make decisions on what to use and what not to use when I'm not.
That's true. True. I love that. It says skip the Gucci bag.
All of it. Yeah. I mean, it's true. I mean, you can have all the designers that you want, but your face is with you every single day. And you put down these filters. I would love that.
I'm not talking about my filters. Nope. All right, thank you for having you. We gotta keep going. Thank you for coming again. We're gonna have you back talk about some more skincare stuff.
Thank you.
Sam, you welcome. You welcome. Good night, everyone. And y'all
All right. Stay safe.
All right. Good night.
Y'all, we out here about to get healthy.
She got good skin too. You could tell. Wow. Flawless.
Yeah. She knows what she's doing. I mean.
Yeah. People will be. I think because it's not a service that people get regularly, they don't really understand the prices. So.
Yeah.
It's worth the investment, though.
It's definitely worth it. Y'all go take a look at the pictures.
Because you said you are a believer.
I mean, and it's like, everything you said is true. You know, you go in there, you think you're doing something. Hey, no, I got this problem because I got this type of skin. No, because you're just not doing what you need to do for you.
You need to drink some more water.
Yeah.
Sometimes it be simple as that.
And I mean, in the products, you talk about have a pimple one day and it's gone the next day. I'm gonna leave it right there. Pimple tonight, gone tomorrow. That's all I'm gonna say.
Right.
Product.
Made a believer out of you, huh?
Yeah.
Overnight. I love it.
Overnight.
And you're chilling. Like it's somebody doing something for you. Take it as a spa day and treat yourself. You don't have to do it. Let somebody else take it. You just fall asleep.
Well, you know, and the truth is a lot of times that's not something that we are used to having or to doing. So, yeah.